Today's Undercover Boss is here at Garden Path Homemade Soap at 284 Pleasant Corners Road East, Vankleek Hill. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Louise.
We have just been here for a few minutes and Tara is preparing boxes to pour some soap into. So Tara, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about why you use a wooden box for your soap.
So these molds are made of wood because the wood will withstand the heat that comes out of the soap being made, because it becomes quite hot, the chemical reaction that happens. And then I have to line them with freezer paper, so that's what I'm doing now.
And we were talking about how soap making is really a process that goes back for centuries, that this is sort of an age-old art, and but yet you've turned to the internet to look for recipes and get new information. And
yeah, that's the cool thing about it. It's kind of modernized now, and many people are starting to make homemade soap because it's so accessible, and we can get, you know, like a century ago I couldn't have gone to the store and bought olive and palm and coconut oil, whereas now I can. In the past they would have used things like lard, you know, the fat from the animals, which would have been free. So actually homemade soap has become more expensive because of the ingredients we're putting in, but there's a lot more variety as a result.
So what are you doing right now, Tara?
I am preparing the boxes that will hold the homemade soap. So I've already melted the olive, palm, and coconut oil, and they're actually cooling, and I've added the lye to the water. And once they're the right temperature, we'll go in the other room, we'll blend them together with my mixer, and then we'll add our fragrances, our essential oils, our other ingredients that we want to do. So if you want to go do that, we can go get ready to do that.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
After we had carried the 3 wooden boxes she had lined with freezer paper into her laundry room, Tara had me measure out the fragrances for the 3 different kinds of soap we were going to make today: blueberry oatmeal, morning coffee, and maple syrup. While we measured out those ingredients, Tara shared her feelings about keeping her soap safe to use. She says she very deliberately only uses fragrances in her line of Garden Path homemade soap that are phthalate-free. Because this compound has been linked to hormone disruption in the human body, Tara will not use it in her products, and she cautions people when they choose a soap that has a strong fragrance, it is important that they pick one that does not use phthalates.
No, that's good for one, and I'll just put the other 2.
Yeah, for everybody watching this video, it's really early in the morning here. Tara does her soap at 7 a.m. because once she starts the process, she cannot stop for customers. And she has customers coming right to her shop here, and we're going to see the shop later on.
That's it.
Good.
That's it.
Okay, so although she usually makes 4 batches of soap at a time, today we will only be making 3 to keep things more manageable. 3 batches equals 6 pots on the go.
See, that's 29 right now.
Okay. Tara double-checked the temperature of her lye mixtures to make sure they were very close to 29 degrees Celsius when they would be ready to mix into the oil mixtures.
Okay, so put my funky glasses on.
Wearing goggles, Tara prepares to pour the lye mixture slowly into the fat mixture. Lye is caustic, so Tara shows me the container of vinegar she has at the ready in case she needs to rinse lye off of her fingers, but she is very careful. Now she mixes her soap, waiting for it to take on the consistency of pudding. Once it begins to set, it is called the trace stage. Tara uses a handheld mixer wand to keep swirling the lye mixture and fats together. I get to add coffee grounds to the soap, and Tara mentions that she used strongly brewed coffee in the mix. If this had been green tea soap, she would have used green tea. Her popular beer soap uses Bose beer, of course. So far, I think, I haven't been working very hard, but I am learning that this soap is indeed homemade, and for the time being, it's a one-person job. When this batch of soap thickens, she moves quickly to pour it into the wooden boxes which her husband Scott has made for her.
Now I've got my spatula, so what I do, I lean it on here. You see how it looks just like pudding. I scrape I don't want to waste anything, so I scrape it all off the sides.
Once she pours the first batch of soap into a wooden box, she places a cover on it and puts it to rest in a corner of her kitchen next to the old wood stove, where it stays wrapped in woolen blankets for 24 to 36 hours.
It's covered up. And Cat will come and sleep on it.
I get to mix the next batch of soap while Tara pours the lye mixture into the oils in a narrow, steady stream. This batch goes along just fine, but the 3rd batch is getting thick quickly, so we move a little faster for this one.
That looks good, Louise. It's pretty thick now. Oh, definitely. We're going to have to move quickly now. Have
happens quickly.
I am not much help as she moves quickly to pour soap into the wooden boxes and covers them and puts them to rest. After the soap rests, Tara will cut it into bars, which will then be placed on racks to cure. In order to show me how she cuts soap into bars, she has saved a wooden box containing a solid slab of soap from a few days earlier. She unmolds it and sets it on her kitchen table and uses a long knife to cut the slabs into 3 long strips. Then we use a cutter which leaves wavy edges at the top and bottom of each bar of soap. I get to cut the 3 strips of soap into 7 bars each for a total of 21 bars per batch. It is surprising how soft each bar of hand soap is.
It must feel really good. I mean, I find it feels really good just to see them all there ready to...
Well, that wraps up a morning of soap making with Tara MacWhirter. And speaking of wrapping up, next time we're going to wrap up some of the soap that we made this morning, and we're going to take it out to Tara's brand new retail shop right here on the farm. And we'll have a tour of the gardens to wrap up our visit to Garden Path Homemade Soap Company. So tune in next time for part 2 of this episode of the Review's Undercover Boss series.